Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss about a small topic in the Indian economy. So that is the case of India regarding the planning. Okay. So coming to the subject. So the Economic Survey 2010 to 11 is the first document of the Government of India which advocates the need for a normative approach. Okay, so here the entire normative approach which says about the behavioral economics. Okay, so in the previous classes we already discussed about the systematic approach and normative approach. Okay, so here normative approach is always different from the systems approach. Okay, so systems approach is nothing but without interfering the socio-cultural variables. So just they have to interfere in some other topics except socio culture. It means except behavioral economics they can do such things. Okay, so whenever comes to the normative approach it can interfere in the behavioral economics. So it touches the socio and cultural economy also. Okay, so it means we also need normative approach. Okay, so this is the official document Economic Survey 2010 to 11. It provides and it says about that India need a normative approach of the planning in India. Okay, so this is the first document which says about the need of country which related to the normative approach. Okay, so here normative approach is very important. So economic survey, according to the economic survey report, so the government of India just it focused on the normative approach, because here mostly the government never focus on the particular customs, traditions and ethos of the population. It means the behavior. So it never sees about the customs, traditions. But whenever a government or a government program or government scheme, so if the government's program or schemes, if they are not able to connect with the customs, traditions of the population, so their acceptability will not be the desired level among the target population. Just we have to set a target population, and we have to set some goals, and we have to set some goals regarding the development and growth. Okay, so whenever a government program or scheme, so it never touched the customs, traditions of the population, and it never crossed the desired level of the targets. Okay, so here simply we can say not only setting something which is to be goal or development or growth, but we have to touch or we have to connect with the customs, traditions and ethos of the population. So just we have to connect those customs of the target population, then it will be a desired level of the good result. Okay, so here we have to establish an empathic relationship between the programs, the schemes and the target population. So now it is to be considered an important aspect of the planning and policy making. Okay, so not only setting some goals or development design levels, but we have to maintain some basic and important relationship between programs and the target population. Okay, for example a particular target population is there, and we have to develop the cities or towns in that particular place where the population is living. So we have to connect with them, not only policies and schemes, but we have to touch the empathic relationship. Okay, so this was considered as an important aspect of the planning. So mostly the policy makers also they just think about the population's customs, traditions and their activities and their daily lifestyles also. Okay, not only getting them something it is to be a economic way, but we have to focus on the behavioral economics also. Okay, so such a change was started in India, not only in India but other countries also. They started thinking about this type of the experiences. Okay, we also just experience this type of the thinking as especially regarding the planning economy. Okay. So as we know, that is a planning India, planning economy in India, that was started in 1950, of course. So during the Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, but it was abolished in 2014. So whenever the Prime Minister was Narendra Modi, it was abolished by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And 2015 January, so the government of India replaced the old body, so that is Planning Commission by the Niti Ayog. Okay, so here this is a policy think tank. Okay, so it is very important, that is Niti Aayog means National Institution for Transforming India. Okay, so 2015 we adopted this type of the planning body. So this was replaced with the old body, so that is the Planning Commission. Okay, so if we look about the new body, so that is the Niti Aayog. So just we become aware of the fact that India was officially moved towards the normative planning. Okay, so the entire Niti Aayog, the guiding principles and the functions of the Niti Aayog. So these to be very immediately we can think about the normative planning. So it means the similar functions and guiding principles which are related to the normative planning. So the new body has to follow a developmental model, so which is all round. Okay, so all round, all pervasive, all inclusive and holistic. These important guiding principles are very important. So in this process the Niti Aayog has been further asked to enable the country to draw on the vitality and energy of the bedrock of our ethos, cultures, assistance. It means always it starts about thinking about the people's customs, cultures, and ethos. Okay, so the Niti Aayog it was further asked to enable the country to draw the attention and energy of the bedrock of the culture, traditions, etc. of the population. Okay, so this is very important. In this process, it will gain these important features. Okay. So in recent times, the government employing nudges. It means push in order to get the attention. Just we have to push something. So just to get the attention, to modify the people's behavior, to desired socio-economic outcome aimed at development. Okay. So here the government also uses nudges. Okay, that means pushes. So especially to modify the people's behavior in order to get the socio-economic outcome at such development. That is using behavioral insights into the frame of the economic policies. Just we have to use the behavioral concept in the economic policy. So all such actions are the examples of the normative planning. Okay, so these important policy actions, so which says about the socio-economic outcome. So to get the socio-economic outcome, so just we have to modify the people's behavior. Okay, at the desired level. So these important, whenever a policy which talks about the socio-economic outcome and culture, traditions, and ethos of the population, so it must be says about something which is which comes under the normative approach. Okay, so we are talking about the Indian point of view. So that's why here one example is there. So Atmanirbhar. Okay, so the self-reliance program push of the government. It is one type of the push of the government. Is a value-laden idea. So with the local overtones such as vocal for local. So it blurring the lines between the nationalism and protectionism. Okay, so just we have to focus on our India, that is self-reliance. So the idea to promote local industries and consume local level of the products. Just we have to improve ourselves within India and no need to depend on other countries. So this is the main aim of the India whenever we suffered with the pandemic situation. So in that time the Atmanirbharat. Okay, so that is self-reliance India. So it was one type of the push of the government just to get out of the pandemic situation. So this is a vocal for local. It means it's nothing but, so we have to focus on the local industries and we have to develop the local industries and we have to consume the products in the local level. Okay, so this is guided by the normative insights, normative approach of the planning. Okay, so mostly this type of the approach is implemented in all the countries. Okay, so economic planning chapter was completed. That is fourth chapter we completed, and in the next class we will start another chapter. So that is fifth chapter, planning in India. Okay.